Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Lemoine, Manager of Risk and Insurance Associates. We have Matt Teel, Principal of Risk and Insurance Associates, with us today. Really excited to make this announcement for you. First time in the insurance industry that we'll be able to talk about this and offer insurance to this particular set of insureds and clients. For the first time ever, we are able to offer insurance to business owners or employees in the marijuana industry. The business has to be legally licensed, so we have to prove that. But if you have a business owner or employees as clients whose main source of income is derived from the marijuana industry, we can now take an application and look to get life insurance placed on them. There will be a little bit more underwriting as far as financials go, researching the company to make sure that it is legal and legitimate. But this is major news in the life insurance world. And Matt, we've been looking for solutions for this for a long time. Can you take us back a little bit? My gut tells me that there's going to be two thoughts here. One, some people might not have known that they couldn't get this, right? That it wasn't a thing. And then the other side of it is people who have clients here who've been talking about it for years are now going to be picking up the phone for the rest of the day and the rest of the week, calling their clients saying, hey, I got an opportunity for you. Take us back a little bit about how this actually started, why they couldn't get insurance, and how it's progressed over time.
Yeah, I think we really can't overstate enough that this is a really substantial announcement for people who are impacted in these industries, because we could get insurance in some cases, especially on the business side, but not with traditional carriers. We were really only able to secure business-focused insurance for a cannabis grow operation or some other related business through the specialty Lloyd's of London markets. And so that really limits the type of coverages we can get, the pricing for the coverage and the economics of it. And so to have really a substantial major traditional carrier completely change their stance on underwriting in this space is monumental. And it really creates tremendous opportunities for brokers and for ultimately, of course, their clients. So just taking the step back, really, there's kind of two markets for this. There's, as you mentioned, there's the businesses that are deriving, their revenue in cannabis or a related industry. And so, as states have legalized marijuana, obviously in those places we've seen, entire ecosystems of businesses that are related to it really thrive in that environment. And one of the things that historically has kind of been left behind is, as we mentioned, it's really difficult to do traditional and life insurance planning for those businesses. So funding buy-sell agreements, if you have, a business that has multiple partners, really difficult. Key person coverage, very difficult. Executive benefits funded with life insurance, impossible. And so the first kind of segment is, if you're thinking about anyone that you have in your network, in your customer base, in your referral pipeline, that is a principal or an owner of a cannabis business, there's a whole host of opportunity to go back to them and empower and enable them to do really great traditional planning with traditional insurance now, which did not exist before this opportunity came about. The second kind of silo, and again, you mentioned it earlier, is employees of these businesses. Even to get some basic term life insurance in the past, if their income was coming from, a cannabis grow operation or a distributor, if they were deriving all of their income from a business that was not federally legally recognized, we actually have had really significant challenges in just getting some basic kind of family protection insurance in place for these folks, because the carriers have been very skittish about the sourcing of that income. And again, now this is completely changed. We have an opportunity to go back and do really good personal insurance planning for income replacement, even accumulation insurance, this particular carrier that is making the stance has a tremendous product suite. They're very financially sound, so it's not a fly-by-night company that's doing this. It's a very major carrier that we have a great relationship with. So we're really excited about the opportunity to go back to customers and clients that have not had an ability to do this planning, and probably have been a little bit frustrated by it, is my guess, and kind of reintroduce these really wonderful and traditional avenues to them that are now available.
Yeah, yeah, really exciting. Matt, there's a couple things that I think some check boxes we want to make sure that we're looking at before we even get to the application. One, they have to be a legal licensed entity in that state, right? If that doesn't exist, let's not even have that conversation. Two, they have to be willing to provide financials, especially the business owners, if we're going down that buy-sell business planning route. They have to provide the license. They have to provide tax returns, bank statements. So that's going to be a requirement. If they're not willing to do that, again, I'm not sure how far we're going to get into this underwriting process. For the employees, they just have to provide the name of the business, so that way they can do the background check to make sure it is legal. And I think they might have some bank statements just to say where is the funds coming from. But other than that, there's really no limitations on the amount of life insurance we can get. Just everything is pretty much traditional at that point, correct?
That is correct. So as you said, there's going to be a little bit more kind of diligence and scrutiny on the front end to make sure that we're really complying with the added level of oversight that the carrier demands to participate in the space, which I think is completely understandable. Really, you hit the nail on the head. What they're trying to make sure is that this is a legal business in the state that it operates, that it has the appropriate licensure. But again, I think that those are all reasonable asks, both for business as well as personal coverage. So we don't really anticipate that's going to be a tremendous headwind, because again, if they're operating legally in the state that they do business in, or the multiple states that they do business in, then these are reasonable requirements for us to have. And I think the other big thing that you hit on, which I'll reinforce, is no limitations on coverage amounts, no limitations on plan designs. So again, really we have open architecture to design and execute great traditional plans as if this was a normal manufacturing business or an employee of one, which I think is really freeing and a huge part of the excitement that we have about this opportunity.
Yeah. Matt, this is going to be a case by case, right? Like it's not everybody's going to be, good for this coverage. But what's the call to action? I think what's the best starting point for an agent, a broker that has somebody in this field that wants to get started? We do have to submit kind of like an informal process to the carrier to make sure that we're good to kind of get to the application step. So what do you think is the best way to get started?
Yeah, I think that what I would suggest is really kind of a twofold approach. Number one, certainly think back through your client customer roster, and if there's anyone that's affected by this, that, and again, as a business owner or an employee of a cannabis or cannabis related business, certainly I think it's a good opportunity for you to reach out and kind of introduce them that there's been some changes. I don't think you need to really be an expert on what's happened yet to do that. Really, that's the second part of what I think the action plan is going to be, which is really rely on us, because we want to be very involved in supporting the process through to make sure that we're getting great results. So I would say reach out to anyone that you think might be impacted positively by this. And if there's interest there, certainly reach out to us, and we can walk you through, the fact pattern, plan design, how do we submit it appropriately to comply with kind of the framework that the carrier has given us to do this. And we'll, obviously partner with you along the way to make sure that we're giving it the best possibility of a great outcome for you and the customer.
Yeah, of course. And again, you can reach us at lifesales@riskassociate.com. You can email me directly, tlemoine@riskassociate.com. Matt is also available for consult, mteel@riskassociate.com. Please do not miss out on this opportunity. It is a huge opportunity. These business owners, these employees have been looking for avenues to get life insurance, and have been hitting dead ends for years. So don't miss this opportunity. And please reach out to us with any opportunities that you have. Matt, anything else to close on?
No, I just reinforce what you said. I think this is it's a fantastic opportunity to go out and have a different conversation than we've been able to have for the last few years, and in a marketplace where there's a lot of successful businesses that are operating in this space, and so we really want to make sure that we capture this valuable time.
All right. Well, great. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We look forward from hearing from you. See you next time. Thanks, everybody.